Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I am going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody's had a good day wherever you're at in the world. God bless you guys. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you guys could do me a favor, like this video, share this content, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. All of that really helps this platform. And it helps me as well. Also, I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. I suggest that you guys just know that my readings are timeless. So whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. But I suggest that you guys watch each of the readings on both, on my platforms. Each reading is going to hold an Eastern egg of spiritual knowledge for you to decode about your own journey. Okay? All right. So I'm just making sure that all of my cards are in the upright as we get started here. If you're new here, check this platform out, subscribe, all of that good stuff helps this platform. And each reading is going to help you evolve and grow spiritually. Okay. All right. So we are calling upon the Most High God, the Holy Spirit, our higher selves, the divine realm, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including the archangels, our ancestors. And we're asking that all of that combined, put a protective shield around us, of course, uncloaking this platform so that the people that need to see these messages can see these messages. But we just ask that God, you continue to bless and prosper this platform and continue to bless and prosper me. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for doing so. All honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, your higher self, the Most High God, for everything that I'm able to do on this platform. Okay, and God, thank you for protecting us. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for keeping our part of the world safe. Okay, thank you for protecting us and shielding us from all evil, all wickedness, all debauchery and negative things. And we just want to say, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. Amen. You guys, if you could like the video, greatly appreciate it, please and thank you. I don't want to have to beg for likes. So if you're watching me and you don't like me, go watch somebody that you do like, okay? All right. So by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chats. Everybody's allowed to have their own perspective and their own point of view, but what's not allowed is religious condemning, bullying, harassment, or any type of attack, okay? All right, everybody, again, it'll just get you blocked and removed from the platform. I'm not going to go into any more of that, but yeah, the warning is already set. Archangel Michael, defend us from all bullies, please and thank you. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the two books that are linked in the description box below. Also, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat. Please don't spam the chat with your questions. You can send me, and I'll keep repeating this for the people that come in, but you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. Okay. All right. So that's the way that I'm making myself available for people. $20 super chat on my other platform. I'm working to getting that channel monetized. Once it's monetized, then I can accept super chats over there. But again, it's, going to take however long. So anyways, all right. So the two books that are linked in the description box below. Why talk about these books? Well, first of all, one of them I wrote, but basically I'm throwing you guys a bone, okay? The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook. This is the first book I'm going to talk about. So the Truth of God has changed my life. I use the techniques in it every single day, continuously, to be quite honest. Anytime something comes up that doesn't feel good, I go right to reminding myself that my higher self is God and doing these techniques from this book. So everyone and everything's higher self is God. So I'm going to just talk about the techniques that I use, but there are so many other techniques in this book, you guys. Controlling the mind. You are God having this experience, not an extension or a part of you are God, not existing in the fullness, but God no less. This is probably the most powerful knowledge that you'll come across. These two books, probably the most powerful knowledge that you will come across in this lifetime. Okay, so Sorry, guys. Little individual's hair just drive me crazy sometimes. All right, so the God technique. I mean, I can't say that one of these techniques are more important than the other because they're all very important. Welcome in, Shaman Maria. So the God technique gives you the ability to raise your consciousness into the consciousness of your higher self so that you can see things from a bigger picture. So it detaches you. Like I have always felt, growing up with abilities, I always felt trapped in the psychic realm or in the ego continuously, like my entire life. Then, hold on, I just realized, like, God damn it. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, God, I didn't mean to swear. I just realized that one of the lights is not on, and so that's why I'm not getting the light that I want. Oh, come on, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Actually, it's a lot better. Okay, so anyways, where was I? Okay, so the God technique helps you to rise above whatever's going on vibrationally so you can get above it, tapping into your higher self so you can see things from a bigger picture. And basically, I had to turn that light on because it wasn't giving me enough light. So anyways, sorry, you guys. So the God technique, anytime something doesn't feel good to me, I go straight to doing the God technique and rising above it. I feel like once I can get above it vibrationally, it becomes easier to deal with. Then I go to using the joy versus anger technique, which is a technique that works on clear sentience, which is clear feeling. And that gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions with your higher self so you can have immediate guidance and be immediately led. Okay. My life before asking questions was chaotic. Now I ask questions. The only time I run into things that I don't like is if I forget to ask a question, I ask the wrong question, or I just act impulsively, right? My God, the fact that that even just came out. So the next technique I'm going to talk about is the mind technique, which gives you the ability to clear the mental and emotional baggage that you're dragging around with you so that you don't keep creating the same mistakes or you don't keep drawing in the same experiences. And why that's important to do is, like I was just saying, so that you're getting rid of the junk that's in your mind and gaining control back over the mind so that you can use the brain and the mind like the tool that it is so that it's not using you. And then there is the 1 to 10 ratio, which you'll see me use on this platform. 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible, where that shows up. And then, of course, it teaches you how to get the compatibility. And then it also teaches you, well, you can use the joy versus anger technique to get more information about why the compatibility is what the compatibility is. Okay, and then there's the preemptive strike where you write down all of the things that you're thinking and believing about. Okay, and then you use the mind technique and you clear all that stuff. And I've been using the techniques in this book for 10 years. Okay, and so since I've been using the techniques in this book, my life has gotten significantly better. And it continues to get better. Is it perfect? No, but it's better than it was before I ever had access to that. It's better than it was when I was just in religion, feeling hopeless and not having any type of spiritual experiences. It's much better now because at least I have techniques that I can use. I do eventually want to get to a place where I don't have to use the techniques, but until that happens, it is what it is, right? Okay, so the second book that I'm going to be talking about is the book that I've written, but I did not write this book by myself. I wrote it with God and the Holy Spirit. Sorry, the card that fell out, I was like, what in the heck? And so I wrote this book. This book is for if you want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to learn to read cards for yourself. For others, it's always been easy. You know, I first started off with just face-to-face consultations, no cards at all. I didn't know about cards. Then I started just using pieces of paper, writing things down, giving that piece of paper. If some of my clients possibly are watching me and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. I give them the piece of paper to take with them. And then I was like directed towards oracle cards first, because oracle cards are they're softer. Tarot can cut like a knife. Like it can give you the information in a way that can cut like a knife. I'll just say that. It can be very abrupt as well, but I do like it because it maps human consciousness. So I was working with tarot cards. Then eventually I got led to oracle cards. Then I got led to tarot cards, but it wasn't the original. It wasn't the original Rider-Waite tarot, which this is the original Rider-Waite tarot. I have the link to this exact deck with the description on the cards in the description box below. If you learn if you learn to read these cards, then you can learn, then when you go to any specialty deck and they give you abstract pictures, you will know what the cards mean, and then you can apply more meaning with the abstract picture that they give you. So who is Vassago? Vassago was an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with. Okay. And at the time when King Solomon was working with him, he was just a spirit of divination, knowing past, present, and future. But tarot cards did not exist when the Bible was created. It was not until the 1400s that the tarot was invented, but it was used as a card game. It wasn't like a playing game, like playing cards. Anyways, it wasn't used for divination until the 1700s. That's the first occurrence of it, and it completely different part of the world. Somebody just figured out, oh, okay, this maps human consciousness. So now Vassago's a very in high demand spirit to work with. Okay, while you're a human, you will experience every single card in the deck, either being in the position of that card or experiencing it. So we can dissect the tarot into two sections. One section is the major arcana cards, which is like the star, the world, the sun, the moon, the justice, the judgment, the chariot, the death, the devil, and just the lovers. I think I'll read from the lovers today. Okay, and then the minor arcana cards are the rest of the deck, which is the aces, the tens, the pages, the knights, the queens, the kings. And then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9s. And then of course you have the aces, the aces, the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles. And those mean different things. All right, so I wrote this book off of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. So you can use this book one of two ways. You can either start from the beginning. It starts off with an initiation with Vassago and a much longer prayer than the one that I use at the beginning of this reading, but it's similar to that. So you don't have to do the initiation with Vassago if you don't want to, but I suggest that you do, because Vassago will help you see things in the cards that basically when you're looking for a certain thing, doing a reading, you could be missing what's actually there. And that was my problem when I would try to pull cards for myself in the past. Okay, and so then you do the prayer every time you do one of these readings. You can either use this book starting with the beginning. Let's get the likes up, you guys, and doing it in order of the major arcana cards to the end, or you can go to whatever experience. Let's say you have an issue with love. You could go to the Lover's Tarot card spread. And for each of the major arcana cards, there's a tarot card spread and a tarot card spell. The tarot card spell is not a spell you do on anybody else. It's not even designed for that. It's designed for you, God, and the Holy Spirit. And so you can't do it on anybody else. But this book starts off with the 14 Zodiac Tarot card spread, where you shuffle the entire deck. You pull 2 cards for each position. One position will be your South Node, where your ego's at. The other position will be your North Node, where your destiny's at. And then it takes you through the entire zodiac. So, you know, you could do this at the beginning of the year. You could do it at any time. It's going to give you just like a lot of information about your spiritual journey and your destiny. And then it gives you information of how to step into your North Node. And, you know, each of the zodiac signs, again, I've added 2 extra zodiac signs, which should have been included, but weren't when Julius Caesar made the calendar. So one is the position Cetus, March 21st through March 29th. Okay, and then the other one is Ophiuchus. And that one actually has that one has a great story behind it. That one is November 29th to December 18th. Okay, Ophiuchus. So then the spell that goes along with the 14 zodiac tarot card spread is to step into your destiny. It also helps you with money. All right, and then it goes in order from the Fool to the last card in the major arcana. So we're going to go to the Lovers. Let's see what page that's on. So you can use this book one of 2 ways. You can either go from the beginning to the end, or if you know that you have a certain subject, you can go to the Lovers. If you have a love issue, if you've got something that you need to bring an ending to, you could go to the Death. If you just lost somebody and they passed away, you could go to the Death. If you have a court case, you could go to the Last Judgment and the Justice card. So it just depends on however you want to use the book. There's no right or wrong way to use the book, okay? All right, so 139. And you can use these tarot card spreads and spells over and over again. It's not like one done thing. You'll always get new information. Okay, so the Lovers. The Lovers, this is what the Lovers card looks like. The Lovers is the number 6. The answer is yes. The zodiac is Gemini. The Lovers are a representation of a twin flame soul partnership and soul contract. The Lovers can inspire new love in the beginning of a new romance. The Lovers represent 2 beautiful souls coming into divine union. And by using this book, this is superior to all other tarot books. Not only because it has Vassago and God's influence, but also because it's going to help you understand. It's going to expand your abilities and help you to understand what you're reading when it comes to the cards and when it comes to the energy. So the Lovers represent 2 beautiful souls coming into divine union. This card represents good times, close friendships, physical beauty, attractiveness, and compatibility with love life partnerships. The Lovers can represent temptation, sexuality, lust, and love coming into your life. You'll shuffle the entire deck. You'll pull 1 card for each position. I'm going to read position 4, the woman, Lilith/Eve. This card placement will reveal your connection to the planet Venus. This card shows your compatibility with your divine feminine goddess self. The first woman, Lilith, was created from the earth at the same time as Adam, her twin flame. This card placement can reveal how connected you are to either Lilith or Eve. Eve was the soulmate that God created for Adam when Lilith recited the secret name of God, grew wings, and flew away from the Garden of Eden. How innocent and naive you are will show through the card for this spot. If you have any mother wounds, that could be revealed to you in the card for this position. If you pull the Empress card for this position, you will know that you are a child of Lilith and Adam. If you pull the Lover's card for this position, you are a child of Eve and Adam. This card position can reveal to you how aligned you are with Lilith Moon astrological placement. And then there's position 5, the man, Adam. Position 6 is the mountain that's in between them. I'll read position 6. This card position will show to you what obstacle is in your way, the way of your divine soul contract. Sorry, divine love soul contract. What is blocking you or delaying you and your love life from moving forward towards committed relationships? Sometimes love creates obstacles that you are not aware of until it's too late. This obstacle could be another person, a place, or a situation, or like this is the mountain or the rock. It could be a mountain in between 2 people. Yeah, so this obstacle can be another person, a place, or a situation that is blocking you from being with the one that you love. If you are with the one that you love but need further information on whether this person is the one or the right one, then be sure to check your answer for the card. Each tarot card has a yes and no answer. So when this one, I believe the answer was yes. When I said at the beginning, when I was like, the Lovers is number 6, the answer is yes, and Zodiac is Gemini. It's giving you right there what the answer for that card is. If you pull the Lovers in this position, you will see that no matter the obstacle, love is still on your side. This could predict a new love, or a love that is rekindled between two people. If you pull the Lovers card in the reverse for this position, you may want to get in touch with a divorce lawyer because things are not going to be looking good for you in relation to your love life. If you pull the Strength Tarot card for this position, it could indicate that you will climb the mountain. Sorry, you guys, allergy season. And that you will be as stable and strong as the rock. Okay. All right. And then it's got a lot more positions. You get the gist. Okay. The Lovers Tarot card spells to draw love into one's life. So the Wheel of Fortune is to attract good luck. So like I said, you could use this book via going through whichever one you feel drawn to that you're working through at that time, or you can go from the beginning to the end. There's no wrong way to use this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to the back of the book. I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when you have more than one of the major arcana cards coming out together, and like what that means. I would, whichever one comes out first, I would go to the back of the book and look that one up. And then the second one, I would look that one up. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. The Lovers Tarot card is a positive card to pull, but when it's in the reverse, it warns one, that a bad choice in love life has been made. When the Lovers is in the upright, you can expect a coming together of two individuals who are divinely connected to one another, such as a soulmate, twin flame, or karmic partnership or relationship. If the Lovers comes out before the Star Tarot card, you can expect to have a relationship that is in the public view. Get ready for paparazzi because a famous love life is coming your way. If you pull the Lovers with the Emperor, it means that the masculine energy coming in is a CEO, boss daddy, intelligent, mature, bold, courageous, and kind. If you pull the Lovers and then pull the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords, it could be a big warning that the person that you're having a partnership with is going to cause you great grief and karma. And it just keeps going on and on and on, you guys, with the different lists. But check this book out, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, for those of you that do want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others. I have the original Rider-Waite, this exact deck with the descriptions on the cards linked below. That's how this deck is the one that I wrote this book off of. And then also, if you want to develop your spiritual connection with God and start creating your reality by controlling it and creating it, The Truth of God is the book for you. This is like the spiritual cheat code to the universe. You don't have to be psychic. You don't even have to be intuitive to use this book and have success. Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, it will help you to be psychic and intuitive, but you don't have to be. Because again, each card has a yes and no value. So you can be asking, like, while you're doing the tarot card reading, you could be asking additional yes and no questions and pulling more cards if you wanted to do so. All right, you guys, so all that's linked in the description box below. Welcome everybody coming in. If any of you have any personal contracts, what the hell, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. That is the way, and I'll set a 20-minute timer. That's the way I'm making myself available. But yeah, my message for you guys is very interesting. So the download that I got, well, I got multiple downloads, but I'm kind of just like combining them all into one because I realized that all of it was one download. There's going to be a natural disaster that hits Babylon. Wherever Babylon is, again, I know where it is, but I'm not going to tell people where it is because I don't want people to come after me. Okay, but there is going to be some type of natural disaster that hits a whole group of people that's doing really bad things to others, point blank, period. And this natural disaster, I did not get a time frame on it, but what I saw was like earthquake, fire, lightning, and yeah, those three things, which to me, that's like a natural disaster. Like fires, you know, when fires take off and they just burn, 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 burn. Some of you guys probably had fires growing up. I went through one really intense fire. Oh my gosh, I was like a teenager and I was like they canceled school and everything because there was so much ash in the air. And I was like, no, like I'm going out. I'm leaving. I'm going out with my friends. My parents were like, don't go anywhere. I'm like, I'm going to go out. I went out and there was like ash straight up everywhere. Literally, it was a really bad fire. I was like, oh, they were not effing around. Like, this is actually really bad. So anyways, fire, lightning. Okay, lightning can cause fire. I'm pretty sure when it strikes, if it hits something that could turn into fire, it could. And an earthquake. What in the heck even causes earthquakes? Isn't it the shifting of the tectonic plates or whatever? Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be that, but it could be that. It could be something else, like another tragedy, like a volcano eruption or something. All right, so we're gonna shuffle the deck here, get some good shuffles in, and we're gonna see what happens. Oh, it could also be a tragedy with water, but I didn't get that it was a tragedy with water, which that could be like a flood. So there's like windstorms that could happen, sandstorms, sinkholes. Okay. I got that it's going to be a clear message from the divine destroying something that's important to people. And so there's all this bombing and other shit going on in other places, like, you know what I mean? This is going to be a natural disaster. So you can't blame anybody for that, right? So I feel that's why I don't want to say exactly where I see it hitting. But again, I don't get that it's going to hit right now. It may hit in the future, months from now, a year from now. I just know that it is going to hit. And so, all right. And it's hitting Babylon. Okay. It's going to be sending a very clear picture to the world. The Page of Wands came out. So let me ask a question about this. Is the Page of Wands the energy of the collective? Yes. Okay. Is the Page of Wands a child of the collective? No. Is this something that has been going on since childhood? Or yes. This is something that maybe you became aware of this, heard of this tragedy, or read it somewhere. I don't know if it's in Revelations. I didn't check, but maybe you've seen it somewhere, heard of it when you were a child. And it stuck with you. You know, we are in the end times, like almost all of the things that have happened that it says in the book of Revelations have happened. And they're very specific things, like the Euphrates drying up and the Seavid and all of that. Okay, what else do we need to know? So this is something you've heard about since you were a child, this situation. I feel like this situation is going to cause a lot of people to want to like help, but you know, what I'm being shown is that for everybody's highest and best good, when this disaster hits, that everybody just needs to stay where they're at. Okay. And not be trying to travel, not be trying to go anywhere. Because there may, you know, when nature does something and it's like a natural disaster, there could be secondary or other natural disasters. Okay. And when it comes to natural disaster, from my perspective, natural disasters happen when people are not listening. You know, when I don't want to say judgment, but it's the earth doing it. It's obviously God working through nature. But and look, the Page of Wands is a nature lover. It may devastate a lot of you guys to be like, oh my gosh, like it's so sad that that thing in nature was destroyed. Just know that the earth has a way of rebirthing itself. And think of it this way, if fires never happened in the forest would never get to like have regrowth. Like there's a reason that fires happen. There's a reason that earthquakes happen. And who are we to try to judge nature because nature has done something? You know, I feel like that the thing is that like I said, there's nothing wrong with tarot cards. Tarot cards are not in the Bible, y'all. How many times do I have to say that? They're not in the Bible. And if you want to be in here bullying me, I'll just fucking remove you. Excuse my language. But yeah, you got to go. Let me report you, though, for harassment and bullying first, and then I'll remove you. Because you are harassing other people. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. This is my platform. It doesn't belong to you, Looney Tunes. And stay out of my space. Don't come back around here. I'm serious. Do not come back on this platform. I'm reporting you to God and Archangel Michael. Stay away from me. Anyways, so like I was saying, you know, when natural disasters hit, who are we to be like, oh, that was a wrong thing? Like, you know, nature goes through different seasons. It goes through changes, you know. There could be a lot worse things that happen. I can guarantee this is going to be tragic for everybody, but I mean, maybe not everybody, but it'll affect a lot of people. But like, you know, it is what it is. The earth is going to do what it's going to do. Some of you guys, you know, where there's been times where there's been earthquakes, I've actually felt them within myself before they happen. So, yeah, you could be one of those people that's very in touch with Mother Earth. And this is why this message is coming out now, is because, you know, just so that you're prepared. I think there's a few prophecies that have gone unfulfilled, and one of them is like the 3 days of darkness, when, you know, when there's no sunlight, which, you know, again, just be prepared. Like, have candles, have another form of light, buy a campfire thing. Like, you just don't know when it's going to hit, right? So, but all of the other prophecies, for the most part, have already been fulfilled. Okay. So again, don't be looking for this tragedy. We don't need to be creating it. Just know that when it happens, the message that's coming forward is to stay where you are. Okay, 9 of Cups. Because something about this, like, nature knows what it's doing. Something about what nature is going to do is going to bring wish fulfillment for a whole group of people. So I feel like, and not only people, but spirits, spiritual beings. I don't want to call them deities, but I will say they're jinns, or, you know, some type of angels. It'll bring a lot of freedom, and it'll be like a cleansing agent. Okay, you know how when the rain comes, it always feels like lighter and softer and just more cleansed. Okay, like, I love the way that it smells outside when the rain has just come, and there's that like grass smell and the smell of the asphalt. Like, that's a very nostalgic smell for me. Okay, so anyways, yeah, this disaster, see, this is why I know that there's no mistakes and that God does not make mistakes. This disaster is going to cause tragedy for a group of people, but it's also going to heal the planet in some type of way. And it's going to trigger a healing response that's going to trigger a natural awakening, an ascension, or something like that. And so for the bigger picture of things, it is a positive thing. It is part of wish fulfillment. For the littler picture of things, when it comes to one group of people or whoever's going to be affected, well, first of all, if obviously they don't read the Bible or whatever, because there's been things that have been predicted that have come true. But I will say that it'll be sad for a group of people, but whatever these people are doing is not good for themselves. So it's still wish fulfillment. It's for everybody's highest and best good. Strength. It's going to cause the planet to become stronger, the human race to become stronger, more united, which is where we want to go. Where we want to go as a human race is to be united and connected to one another, and to be loving, like unconditionally loving and respectful of each other, but within a certain boundary, like still having laws, right? That respect everybody's free will and perspective. Okay. All right. What else do we need to know? Also, these people, you know, that are going to be affected, they will have the strength to endure this. but it's going to shatter whatever their culture and whatever their practices are. It'll shatter that, okay? But it'll be for the highest and best good of everybody, for those rituals and whatever they are to be, if it's whatever it is, for it to be stopped, it's for the highest and best good of the planet and everybody else. Can guarantee that. And the people that are hearing trumpets all of the time, there is a reason for that. This is why I'm just giving out the warning. But I just want you guys to know that when this tragedy happens, stay where you're at. Okay? You can't, you sacrificing your health, your money, your stuff to rebuild something that the planet's going to rebuild it's a waste. Wheel of Fortune. Look, you don't need to give up on your fate and destiny as a light worker, as a being that helps others. You don't need to give that up. Anybody that wants to project ridiculousness onto you and say that you should accept their bum behavior is somebody that's not going to be allowed in the future. Not in this new world that's being created. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is like, you know, cycles, endings, beginnings, extreme change, destiny, fate, that type of thing. The Chariot. There are people already like trained and stuff. I would say, you know, maybe not in that part of the world. I don't know what's going on in the part of the world that's going to have the disaster. But I will say that there are people that are qualified to deal with this type of thing. I forget what they're called in America, but they do have a name. It's like the reserves or something like that. But yeah, that can deal with disasters. What is this? Wow, 10 of Wands in the reverse. Interesting. The Chariot represents position of power, police, authority people, firemen, that type of thing. These people are frustrated and complacent anyways. They've been doing the same thing for too long. It says straight up says for the police, if a lawsuit or court case is pending, they will lose. Lies and intrigue, someone makes trouble for them. Bad luck plagues them for several months. A major change in their life will improve their outlook. Whoever these officials are, they need a new perspective. Oh, because this is the perspective that they've had. This is why they need a new outlook. And they need to stop being so greedy. I think that a big part of the problem on this planet is greed. Corporate greed, corporations, just disgusting. I also get that, like, you have overcome some type of hurdle and somebody thinks that you've done something to alter your fate. No, they tried to alter your fate and alter the fate of the world. And this is why they're getting a bite back. 7 of Pentacles. Whoever this person is, they're sitting around waiting for everything to go in their favor, and it's not. It's not going in the favor of the devil. Well, I guess it will be actually in the future, but maybe the devil's going to be redeemed, or that devil energy. These people are just very greedy, materialistic, low vibrational people. And they are operating from the South Node, you know, from their egos. I feel like whoever these people are, they're waiting for money to come in from some type of investment. Whatever these people invested in, the reason that there's going to be a tragedy and a natural disaster, and, you know, I am getting like an earthquake energy. The reason that there's going to be that is because these people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, like making nuclear weapons or other shit like that, like similar to that, something that could really damage the earth. So the earth is more intelligent than what we give it credit for. And so is the divine realm. It will neutralize that, come and wipe that completely off the map, especially if there's a real unsafe issue that's going on. You know, the earth has an ability to protect itself, just like we do, right? We can either choose to or not choose to. Most of you guys are protected by the divine anyways. 5 of Cups. These people are experiencing a lot of grief. They're about to, at least. You know, loss of relationships, the separation of families, The loss of a valued possession. I feel like these people were looking at you like you were their possession. You do not belong to these people. You belong to God. End of a marriage or love relationship. Okay, what does that have to do with you? These people, they just need to like, they need to release the devil. It's more like the devil's enslaved to these people than these people being enslaved to the devil, to be quite honest. That's what I'm getting. Okay, what else do we need to know? Five of Pentacles. I saw this card and I was like, nah, we're going to just shuffle it and see what comes out. These people are not going to have a home. They're going to be casted away. Like I said, like I was literally just saying, like, it's like possible unemployment, loss of a home, which could be through a natural disaster, health problems, weight gain, weight loss, financial ruin, support loss from friends and family and religious institutions. These people will be at the bottom. Two of Swords, and they'll be blocked. See, the divine is handling it. Our prayers have made it to the heavens. The divine is going to handle it. So is Mother Nature. What is up with the devil energy? Why is the devil showing up? Yeah, the devil wants to be freed. I don't know about that, y'all. God, whatever needs to be done with this energy so that things can move forward in a positive way to reconstruct the earth, let's just go ahead and do that. Please and thank you. Justice. Justice. Your destiny brings about justice. You may not even know that about yourself. If you're a Libra, triple confirmation, okay? But yeah, I would say definitely like you may want to look and see where Libra's at in your chart, because that could give you more information. Your birth chart is what I'm speaking about when it comes to your destiny and your Wheel of Fortune, and where and what house to be looking in, because each of the astrological houses represents an energy and an aspect of life. Okay, so the justice is about balancing the scales. Maybe something was very unjust. Maybe there was a group of people here that wanted to take the position of being the authority, but they don't have authority, not over the devil and not over God. They need to just let it be. There is some type of other angelic like or other energy, I'll just say, that's circling this reading right now. And I can feel it is circling this situation, waiting. The world. Because this is going to be something that's going to be all over the news. It'll be all in the media. People will be talking about it for the next century or something. Like it'll be like a big enough thing that it'll be noted in history, like bigger than 9/11 probably, because it'll be one for the whole world. But yeah, they'll probably categorize things at the time of this disaster, that type of thing. Also, if you've been feeling a little bit dizzy or woozy or whatever, you need to ground your energy. These people are very ungrounded and they keep trying to send this bullshit energy magic. I don't know if it's magic or if it's just manipulation or if it's just all these people slandering everybody else. But people need to get it together and stop with that behavior. We cancel and rebuke all slander and gossip and mischief and wrongdoing. The world also talks about, you possibly getting a job in a new place. This could be a new city, a new country, you moving, you being protected. You changing a job, you getting an upgrade in a job. That could be something that occurs. The glare. Can barely see what the cards say. Yeah, is this also talking about helping the less fortunate? You may be in a position to actually help the less fortunate. And I do get that, this situation is going to affect, a lot of people. But it's something that needs to happen for whatever reason. Because of whatever was being done was bad enough to cause this to happen. Like, it's a bigger picture. It's part of the bigger picture. Knight of Swords. There's going to be a lot of call to action, military, army reserves. That's what I think they're called. Aren't there reserves where they stay at home and they're basically supposed to like stay in the US and help the US when the US is in a tragedy or something? Anyways, there's going to be a lot of people that there's going to be a lot of people that like jump to the gun to go help this area, but I'm telling you, stay where you're at. You know, unless you're getting a job in a new place, but I don't get that this new job is going to be in this area where these people are at. So what else do we need to know about this situation? Oh, it's National Guard. Thank you. Thank you. The Hangman. Look, this is what I'm saying. This is going to be like a mass sacrifice, but not really a sacrifice, but it is like nature, you know, for nature to rebuild itself. We just have to start being realistic about this planet. Okay. For everything to continually stay the same, I think that the people on this planet are draining the planet of its resources. Okay. That's what I personally think. These people are going to be very confused as to why this happened. I think it's going to be a pretty clear symbolic message that they need to knock whatever they're doing. Whatever they're doing, knock it off. And this devil energy, you know, what it wants to do is get away at the last second after causing a tragedy. That's what it wants to do, is like, okay, as long as I got enough time to get away from the tragedy that I'm about to cause, or that it's a part of. The Fool. These people think that we're not aware that they're trying to sacrifice us and our cultures and all of that. That's crazy to me. We're definitely aware. We're definitely aware. The Fool is not a bad energy. It could be the beginning of a new journey for these people, but I will say that they will have to sacrifice something. Not a person, not an animal, not a plant, nothing like that. Okay. It's something that they believe, that they think, that they do. They're going to have to sacrifice that for the greater good, you know? And if they don't, they'll be in the tower. And this is why I feel like, you know, the mass awakening that happens after this disaster, wow, my left ear just started ringing really loud, is going to be something that shows the world that we are all one people. Okay, what else do we need to know? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this will be a message that we receive as a collective, that we are one people and we need to start treating each other better. We need to straight up do better. By doing better, like there are other species in the universe, you know, like extraterrestrials is what we would call them. But there's other species in the universe that can live with the planet without hurting and harming it, depleting it of its resources. They exist. They live in harmony with nature. And maybe some of our ancestors in the past did live in harmony with nature, but this stupid thing called greed comes in and it just takes over everything. And that is a demonic force. Like, we know that, okay? And so, like, I feel like once this greed is gotten rid of, you know, that's one of the main, this planet suffers from a lack of love and, you know, a lack of compassion, not resources. We have enough resources. Also, there's been so many times where science has, like, people have figured out free energy sources and all of that, and then they got deleted. Those people and their plans got deleted, like Nikola Tesla, for example. And so it's like unfinished work. These people are going to, like, literally, when I see the Hangman, the Fool, and the Tower, they're unknowingly, by doing whatever this is that they're just following others, they're unknowingly putting themselves in a position to lose. Knight of Pentacles. And there may be some crazy stuff that happens in the future, like countries coming into alliance with one another to ban a certain type of practice or people or something like that. Like I could literally see that happening, which I guess, you know, that's going to be better than any type of genocide, to be quite honest. I think that just, you know, if bad people want to be bad people, they can go to it. But the thing is that them being, and it's not just them being bad people, whatever it is that they're doing that's offending the earth. Okay. If it's taking its resources, if it's unaliving people, whatever it's doing that's offending the earth, there's many things that offends the planet. But whatever it is, you know, these people had ample opportunity and time to wake up prior to when this is going to happen. So I get that you guys are completely safe. You're going to find out about it through like social media, through, you know, I'm telling you about it now, but you're going to find out about it through some type of media or, you know, that type of thing. This message that you receive also is going to remind you how protected you are. See how this wreath encircles her, the world? It says like you being surrounded on all edges with protection. Okay. You're here to bring justice to the earth. You need to remember that when things get hectic and crazy and it's like people are fighting for survival and like acting from greed. Let's just say that from the 7 deadly sins, you just need to remember who you are as a person, who your higher self is, what God is, that God is not these low vibrational energies. I mean, obviously everything's made up of God's energy, but God is unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace. And when you know who you are spiritually, there's not a person alive or dead that's going to change anything about you. You've already acknowledged that, you know, you receive downloads from the universe and the planet communicates with you. If you're about to buy a plane ticket somewhere and you get a real queasy, weird feeling, don't go. Make sure you research the places that you go to before you go to them. Now, there are some places that are very harmless, like I would say Canada, that, you know, I don't know what their thing is with, I've only been there one time, but I don't know what their thing is if they allow, I'm sure that they allow visitors. See, you used to be able to get into Canada without having a passport, and now you have to have a passport for both Canada and Mexico. When I was a child, you know, you could get in just by like flying or whatever, or driving. Now, it's a much bigger thing now to have a passport, which takes time, by the way. But yeah, if you feel weird about any decision you're about to make and you start to feel sick or unwell, don't make that decision. This Knight of Pentacles is going to work very, very hard because they're trying to break down something that you've already created, some type of goal that you have for the future. It could be a business idea. It's bringing together people. I will say that. Okay. And a whole lot of different people from every end of every spectrum. This is what your business idea is going to do. Yes, you'll be fine. Absolutely. Absolutely. You'll be totally fine. Yeah, this also talks about just, you know, that a new business idea, whatever this is that you're working on, is insured. You may get a message that this is like a great idea. Just carefully weigh the risks before you take them. Like, let's say that you are going to start a new business. There are things that you just have to do before you start that business. What are those things? Well, some of them would be like getting a business license, making a website. So you can make a list. When you come up with the idea, write the idea down, make a list. When there's something very like powerful about writing things down. I feel like it helps you remember if you've written it down. I also feel like, you know, you can write down the big steps that you have to create something and then the little steps that are, you know, like there's probably extra licensing to have a business and have somebody work for you, you know, and all of that stuff. So what I'm saying is that whatever this is that you're going to do is going to be very creative and very successful. And that's what you need to know. that it is in alignment with your higher self. Okay. And it may start out slow, but don't give up on it. Once you come up with the idea, do not give up on it. Continue to work towards it. Okay. You'll know if it's meant for you. It'll be easy, it'll feel good, and it will start to gain traction. Okay. Four of Wands. This is about completing projects, finishing goals, making new milestones, celebrating with your community, sharing something with the community, sharing a gift, a talent, ability, which could be singing and acting, dancing, writing poetry, writing, it could be like seriously anything, like anything that you want to do. But yeah, you're going to be able to have some money and then put some money away is what I'm getting. And this is all part of your Wheel of Fortune. Like the main purpose of life is to wake up and realize that you are God, that you are still connected to God. It's only because your mother told you that your name was something else that you believed and started to associate with this physical world. But the moment that you came in as a child, as an infant, you were more connected to the divine than you were to this physical world. That's why your early years, were developing your lower chakras and feeling safe and, learning to walk, learning all of the things that we learn in life, right? So this, whatever this is that you're working on or you're creating or that you have a message about, it's gonna honor, every people from every walk of life, I should say. It'll be like, it could be some type of, self-development, self-help, journaling, something that you come across as you work towards your goals. Ace of Swords, your intellectual property is very protected. These ideas and stuff, very protected. And if you want to ensure their protection, write them down instead of go on the computer with it, okay? Or go on your phone. But I would say that if there is something that you have to do on a computer, just make sure you have a VPN thing. Yeah, so that it hides your whatever the VPN does. Look, this is talking about decisions, and so there may be a discussion about where you came up with this idea. I don't think that it really matters, to be quite honest. It says decisions should be guided by what is just, true, and honorable. Think of problems as opportunities to change or for change. And so change can come in many ways. It doesn't have to, change doesn't mean a negative thing always. A change could be getting an upgrade, getting a level up. That's why I suggest that you watch all the readings on both platforms, because they will upgrade your system and give you a level up, and you'll learn a lot about spirituality. So yeah, you're following a moral compass is what I'm seeing. These other people, they don't do that. That's probably the biggest difference that, without me going into what these people do that's bad, because I don't want to judge them. I don't want to look at that stuff. Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of people that want to jump to the gun to rescue these other people. And it's because these people don't know what's actually going on. They're ignorant. And this is why we can't judge people by their political view or by their religious view or whatever, because everybody's at a different state of development. Okay? Even though we're all having a human experience, how does it make it right for us to judge somebody that grew up in a different thing? However, what we can do is look at it as it's either in alignment with our higher self, which is God, or it's not. And there are some things that people do that they grew up doing or whatever, that's just not in alignment, because if it hurts and harms another person, then it's not in alignment with higher self God. Or if it hurts and harms self, that's not in alignment with God's energy. So that's just what I feel. But there's going to be, the Knight of Swords is like a military coming in to rescue. The Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups. There's going to be a whole group of people that want sanctuary somewhere. Sanctuary is like when you go into, I don't know if you can even do this now, but if you're being charged with a crime, you can run into a church. It used to be like this, and claim sanctuary, and the people couldn't come in and get you out, but you'd have to spend the rest of your life in that church or something. Whatever this is that you're doing, it's going to bring in the 6 of Wands, which is fame, recognition, reward. for your hard work. This whole situation does have to do with the Queen of Wands. Let me ask some more questions. So you do have a Queen of Wands. If you're a masculine energy, you have a Queen of Wands that wants to be with you. I don't even know where to put this person because they don't fall in line with this disaster, but I do feel like this person practices some type of magic. And then if you're a female, you have a Queen of Wands that wants this Three of Pentacles influence. They want this community. They want what's yours, basically. They want your soul tribe to be theirs, but this person doesn't have a soul tribe. And your fame and public recognition is basically you being recognized by the rest of the world. That's what the Three of Pentacles is like a collaboration, a collective of people that are more like of a soul tribe rather than like, because the Hierophant could represent a collective of people, but that's like a religious sect or Masons or whatever. You're not any of that, or you're not showing up in this reading as that. This Queen of Wands, is she a part of this other world? I get that she is. Okay. Does the collective even know the Queen of Wands? No, you don't even know this person yet. Maybe they're going to be somebody that's in the media a lot. Ew. Okay, well, I won't be watching them. There's just some things that I'm just like, no, thank you. Yeah, business partnership. These people are going to want to do either business with you or they're going to want business from you. Be careful who you do business with. Well, when you bring God into what you're doing, it doesn't matter who you do business with. It really doesn't, because God will make sure that you're protected no matter what. But still, look, the Nine of Swords is just what came out. What the hell is this? This Queen of Wands, is she already in the Nine of Swords? Yes. This could be a lot of broken women. A lot of women that are broken in a community, a society, whatever, a religious group. They're also going to be grieving about something that they did, because I do get the witchcraft avenue from this person. And I don't always see the witch with the Queen of Wands, but sometimes I do. Okay, the Queen of Wands is also somebody that's very attractive. Maybe, they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. What is the most important thing moving forward that we need to know? Two of Wands. Yeah, you looking at the world like it's your oyster and creating a new beginning. And then you helping other people establish and do the same thing through whatever media that you use, whether it's video games, web design, like whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You're just being told to act decisively and, allow things to happen as they should. Don't force anything. You don't need to force anyone to love you. Three of Swords in the reverse is what just flew out. Be aware, you guys, of a female energy that comes in, that's grieving, that wants to trauma bond or befriend or whatever. This person has bad intentions. The Three of Swords in the reverse talks about someone protects their feelings instead of telling the truth. One person in the relationship will be tempted to betray the other. Flaws in a relationship are overlooked because the positive aspects are worth keeping. I think that that's a delusion, because this right here looks like a third party, Three of Swords, and it's about a betrayal. Contented and happy with the relationship. These people, why they're going to bring this tragedy upon themselves is because they feel like there's nothing wrong with whatever they're doing, but the planet disagrees. Like I said, it's the planet that's disagreeing. There could be a lot of people that also disagree, but this is, more so the planet that disagrees. The Hermit, you guys are isolating, and this is like probably the best thing to do. Go within. The Hermit is somebody that goes within and finds the answers to their problems. They don't run around creating more and more situations that need to be healed. Yeah, you could be literally thinking about doing something new and committing your energy to new projects, and then here comes this person that wants you to heal them. And I feel like it's not your job to fix and heal people. Since they wanted to do whatever nonsense they were doing, they can do that. And you literally, maybe you need to write a book. Put all of your wisdom and knowledge into a book. Maybe you need to do that. Like, seriously. Because I was just being, the angels were just pointing to the truth of God. I'm like, obviously, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. I mean, you could read the book, but if you don't use the techniques ever, then the book is just going to be head knowledge for you. It's still knowledge that you probably will never come across again, or, you haven't come across it yet. I can guarantee that. So yeah, all of this situation is just a warning for you that at the time that you're developing something new, and this other situation forms, and there's going to be people reaching out, wanting assistance. You could have somebody that ends up contacting you. They could be going through a disaster in their life. You just need to be aware and know that, when you work with deceitful people, deception is what you're going to get. Trickery. Ace of Cups. Because, it's going to become very apparently clear, if it's not already, that God's love is with you, that the Most High God loves you. Okay? like you going within helps you fill your own cup. These people, all they want to do is take from everybody else's cup, and they feel entitled. They do. They feel entitled to God's cup of love, even though whatever they worship, that's not God. Don't fuck with them like that. Does not love these people. It is what it is. Yeah, you're going to have a loving family. This could be one that you end up creating. When this Queen of Wands comes towards you, it could be the moment that you let your guard down. You're going to figure out that they're a snake pretty quickly. Or this could be somebody you see in the media. But yeah, you're going to be like, oh, that person's a snake. I don't want anything to do with that. Four of Swords, a personal battle ends. A break in fighting. Maybe this is what's going to happen. Maybe when this tragedy occurs, this natural disaster, it's going to cause a lot of funerals, but it will also cause a break in the fighting between groups of people. I mean, that would be good. These people lose, though. It'll be a loss to them. They're going to be having to come to everybody else with their hand out. And I suggest that you just, not to be cruel, but like literally think about it this way. If you ever came to these people with your hand out, and if you were in their situation, but you would never be because you're not committing crimes against children and bad things like that. But let's say that let's just say that if it was switched roles here, these people would not piss on you if you were on fire to put the fire out. I'm serious. Like, they would literally just say, nah, you're an infidel, you're a loser, you're this, you're that, whatever it is that they say. Okay. We ain't doing shit for you. That's what they would say. And so this is why you just need to be careful of who you give your help and assistance to. Obviously you could create a book that helps everybody. That puts out a lot of good karma. Even if it's just like a romance book or something else, giving people a way to escape this reality, even if just for a moment by reading a book is an important thing. It really is, especially if you end up creating art or something that inspires others to go within. Queen of Pentacles, because it's going to keep you in the energy of being very abundant. You could be very sympathetic to political issues. You could want to share your cup of love with the world. I totally understand that. I mean, I'm not a politics person, but some people really, really are. You could just be I think it's just like everything in school. When we had all of those classes and people were good in some and then they were not good in some, like, you could be good in all classes. This is why there's going to be a lot of different opportunities for you. You have also a lot of emotional and mental stability and emotional stability, something that these people do not possess. They're not stable and they're not able to even fight for their own point of view. And they're disloyal and they are going to come crawling or whatever. Like, I just see somebody begging, please, please, please. They need to go to their higher selves. I'm serious, to get them out of this one. And I could, just because these people have already done something so bad that it's going to karmically cause an event, a natural disaster to occur, that Mother Nature's going to do to stop whatever this is. And so I don't want anybody being attached to this type of karma. Okay? Because they need to literally work it out with themselves. Work it out, you know. But like I said, there are countries that are in alliance with one another, so it's not like these people can be helped by the ones that are around them. Let's just say that. Six of Swords, having to flee. This is what I'm talking about. Getting on boats, having to flee. What is it called? An exodus? Having to exit. This Queen of Wands, they're going to lose something. Maybe some of you will enter into politics in the future. You could write a book about something that needs to be implemented. Yeah, there's a whole collective of people here for you to subscribe to you, to all of that. So you don't need to worry about anything. The Emperor. The Emperor. You're already in a position. And remember, we have both masculine and feminine energies, but you're already in a position to defend, and forget the fact that this person looks old. You're in a position where you can defend other people, other people's point of view, maybe vulnerable people like women or children. I don't feel like you're here extorting anybody like this Queen of Wands, what she wants to do. If she could have her way, oh my gosh, there's no way she's going to have her way. Remember, you guys, wish fulfillment is with us. It's going to be granting you, me, wish fulfillment wherever you guys are in the world, okay? And God bless you guys wherever you're from. Nine of Wands, and wherever you're at. This is like these people being on the defensive, okay? They're preparing to be assaulted. They need to keep money in reserve. They also feel wounded. This is why I feel like don't directly help these people. Allow one of your books or your pieces of art to influence them and affect them. That's what I would say. That's what my wisest thing would say. Unless you know how to clear lots of karma, but there's a bunch of situations that you don't need to, even if you can clear karma, there is a lot of situations you don't need to put yourself through or go through at all. You know, to stick your neck out for anybody that, you know, King of Pentacles. Because the thing is like these people, they think that you're going to sell out. They think that they can buy you or whatever. They can make you do a deal with something dark. They really can't. The Temperance in the reverse, no, the no bueno. I'm serious. Oh, God. Very unsettling and volatile period. Inability to struggle, multiple responsibilities, overcommitment. Situations are out of control for these people. Arguments and competing interests dominate their life. Danger of drowning or accident at sea. React to conflict with calm. This is not being protected by the angels. These people are, I hate to say that, but they're not. They're not protected by the angels. Obviously, if Archangel Michael's in the reverse and the devil's in the upright for these people, and they have the King of Pentacles, then they want everybody to sell their soul, or they want people to sell out or whatever, or they want to buy people again. They just need to stop. The people that want to enslave others will become enslaved themselves. They already are enslaved to their own desires. These people won't be able to break free of that. Page of Cups. I feel like what we need to be doing is protecting the children on this planet, not putting them in more danger, not selling them for however much or whatever. Protection of children should be number one, or the human race will not exist in the future, you know? Or it'll just be test tube people or clones or whatever the hell is the illegal experiments are. They're going on. I'm serious. People just really need to think about that. Four of Pentacles. Yes, you inherently do possess roots and something that's very long lasting and strong that other people do not possess. And it's got, you know, people upset about it. But like I said, you know how to stand in your power and defend yourself. You're a very magical being. You guys are very magical energies. And I don't just say that about anybody, because I don't get that energy from everybody. These people are living in fear. They're living 100% their lives in fear. Fear of everything. kind of how I felt like when I was a child, seeing all this stuff and having interactions and being terrified, fear of everything. Like, and there's every once in a while that fear will creep up, but I just remind myself of who I am spiritually. I remind myself that I am God and that everything is God's energy. And I go into the unconditional love, joy, and peace. And even though I could be in a situation that is causing me to feel anxiety or fear, like standing in a dark room, you know what I mean? That type of thing, or being in an enclosed space, or being up really high, whatever it is. Everybody's got different fears, but yeah, these people, the sad thing about them is that they don't have anything that's real to grasp and hold on to. And these people, their roots didn't come naturally from God. Their roots were something that they built as a stronghold in a very low vibrational way. And it's just not the same. Okay. It's not the same. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like these people do not inherently, like, why these people are the way they are is because of whatever they believe. And they believe something counteractive to what you are naturally. Like, they believe that you shouldn't be in a position of power, shouldn't have a home, shouldn't exist, whatever. And this could be a religious belief, it could be a social belief, it could be a Freemason, it could be anything, like any type of belief system that these people subscribe to. But again, maybe they believe, oh, nobody should be able to see the future, whatever. There are people that are gifted just like Jesus was, okay? I'm one of them, you're one of them, whether you know it or not. You're awakening to the fact that you are a magical being and that these abilities that you possess were not randomly given. Like, these people that are so upset about you having something, what are they going to do? They need to take it up with their higher self and go straight to God, because God is the one that gave you what you have. So, like, what are they going to do about that? I feel like it's pointless for them to even be upset about it. And if they would stop doing what they were doing that is not in alignment with higher self God, then, maybe a natural disaster wouldn't have to happen. But I feel like it's going to happen anyways. And when it does, I guess it's going to cause a lot of people to feel differently. But either way, these people, this is why they just need to stay wherever they're at. Okay, and deal with their own disaster on their own. Because like I said, and when it comes to you, they look at you as somebody that should be unalived. Like, straight up, that's how they look at other people. This is why these people they're not okay. They're not mentally okay. And there's no amount of Reiki, love, like, God can do anything, but where we're growing to the fullness of God and becoming more of our God self every day, we're still human, having a human experience. We have limitations. Don't go out of your limitations to try to, show these people that there can be equality. Let these people figure it out on their own. Because like I said, in their world, everything runs off of whatever game they're playing. Okay? It's a completely different world. But just know that change is what's going to happen no matter what. So it is what it is. Like, this work that you do brings about change. This is why you should continue to work on it. Even if you feel like, oh, sitting down and writing again, like, do it in small chunks a day. It's very healthy. Like Carl Jung, the psychologist, that if you don't know about him, oh, he's so amazing. He's no longer with us. Long time ago, psychologist. But Carl Jung, he wrote every single day. Like, he wrote a lot, and he had these journals. One's called the Red Book and the other one's called the Black Book, where he would have experiences like within his own mind or psyche or in a dream or whatever, where he would interact with the archetypes, like the devil, the this, the that, okay? And then he documented it all and psychologically, like, was working on himself. So he didn't want those two books to be printed, but when he passed away, his family was like, we're printing these journals. And they're like huge journals, and they're very, very interesting if you're interested into psychology. Yeah. All right, what is the most important thing that we need to know before we go about this situation? Oh yeah, you guys heard it from me first. Just remember that you got warned about it. And look, you're showing up as the star. This is the two cards that just flew out. The star. So yeah, you have accessibility to insight, wisdom, a star ability, something that's going to gain you attraction. And I would say like, well, beginning, attention, the King of Cups, you very well have access to somebody who is very wise. Okay. The Emperor is all of the masculine cards in the deck combined, but I do get that the Star and the King of Cups is like you being extremely balanced and very, very wise and able to guide others. And you could have access to somebody who is like that as well. Okay, is there anything else? I feel like there's like one or two more things. This access that you have is something that other people want, but they don't have it. And these people are not going to be able to understand you. There's either, first of all, you don't operate from greed. You're not selling your soul. You're not selling out. You're not selling your property. These people are very entitled. They walk around thinking that they are allowed to do whatever they want, like literally. There's probably not very many things that these people think that they can't do or that they're not allowed to do. But these people are about to learn in a major way. High Priestess. Because you see through things. The Star, the King of Cups, and the High Priestess, you are somebody that does see the future. You see things. You could dream them. You're getting downloads. All of that is very important because where are the prophets? The only prophets that we know about are the ones that are dead and then the false prophets that exist now. Like the guy that said that the rapture was on September 23rd a year or two ago. And then everybody sold their property and did all this crazy shit and nothing happened. But things may not happen as you think they are, but they will happen the way that they're meant to. And I think the more that everybody can get in alignment with accepting that and accepting that your truth, is in alignment with higher self, these people's truths are not in alignment with higher self. That's why they are demonic, okay? And I don't mean to label it that, but that's just the truth of what it is. It's like there could be a coming together, but there's not going to be a merging with whatever these people are, whatever they believe in, or whatever they're doing. Because what they're doing, they're causing it could be a freaking comet that falls on them. They're causing some seriously bad stuff to happen to them. And it's a lot of negative karma. And we as a people don't want to deal with that. We don't want to take that on. Yes, some people are just NPCs. Ace of Wands, whatever you put into motion is going to be backed by God and the Holy Spirit. And this work that you do, the Eight of Pentacles, already is being backed. Like it's divinely protected. And it's going to take off. People are going to be like, oh my gosh, da-da-da-da. In a good way, though. There may be some people that are like, oh, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. But it's because you represent something that they can never be. You represent someone that they are not, or you represent choices that they did not make, or a gift that they don't think they were given, okay? And again, everybody creates their own realities. This monitoring spirit energy, let me just ask who this person is. What is this monitoring spirit energy? This is an ending to these monitoring spirits. It's also an ending to whatever these people were forcing the devil to do. I can guarantee that. Okay. So your work puts an ending maybe to them being able to monitor you. That's interesting. Because your work has to do with your intuition, your abilities, the knowledge that you have from within, your experiences possibly with God, your wisdom, your guidance, your counseling ability, and your star trait. That's what your work has to do with. So these people are going to be watching that. I do feel the Queen of Wands will be, but some of these other people are not. They're about to be involved in something that's like taboo or whatever, and it doesn't involve you. Or they are involved in something that's taboo. But remember, these people are in alignment with the devil, and Archangel Michael's in the reverse. So that's that right there shows that they do not have any protection from whatever it is that they're doing and worshiping the sun. And it doesn't favor these people. You're a light worker. You're here to shine the light on the darkness. You're also here to grow happiness, joy, and love and heal your inner child. Maybe your work is going to be about doing chakra work. Maybe it's going to be the chakras or the energy center. Maybe it's going to be about how to heal the soul, how to obtain happiness, how to manifest, whatever it is. These people fear it because it has to do with individual thought, not a belief system or something that falls in alignment with what a group thinks. This is about individual thought, which to me is more important than what a group thinks. Okay? Because it's more unique. Carl Jung, he had individual thought, not what a group thinks. And that's why he's a great example of, how to get your mind right. These people, like when I was shuffling the cards before, one card came out in the reverse and it was the Star, and it's these people being mentally unwell because of their association with the devil and whatever side effects being low vibrational causes you. Again, these people are very prone to temptation. They can't. Why they need to just stay in their part of the world and stay where they're at and not mess with nobody else is because they can't deal with the laws and the constructs of other societies. These people cannot deal with having temptation put in their face 24/7. They can't, but we're used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could pull up probably any video and there's a temptation in there to go into something. And so this is what I'm saying. Like where America, think of Las Vegas, where it's like a temptation haven, right? So yeah, we're used to it and we can follow the laws and stuff and not make mistakes. These people will not be used to it and it'll be too overwhelming for them. And so this is why they should stay where they're at. They won't be able to, we don't need these people filling up our prisons or anything like that. They need to deal with the karma that they have as a group of people that does whatever practice that they do. I don't care what it is. I just know that it has nothing to do with actual God or Jesus or anything that's positive. And you need to know that you are divinely protected because you have morals. Queen of Swords, and you know when to cut people off. Your intuition is already going to tell you that these people, the only help that they're going to get from you is through buying something that you have to sell. Okay? Like that's how they're going to get help from you. It's not going to be through having a personal... I don't know why these little notifications come across, but there was a notification for Daredevil. Interesting. Yeah. If these people can get it together, I really pray that they do. But what are my hopes for that? They're being manipulated by the devil. I don't know what to say about that. Death. My hopes for that is like, this is what's going to happen. This is an end and a death to their monitoring bullshit. And this is not something that we caused. I just want to be very clear. When nature does what nature is going to do, it is not it could be a group of people's fault that's doing bad things, but I will tell you that when nature, that's something that the divine is doing. It's a part of a bigger picture. We can't project and put the blame on somebody else because a natural disaster happened unless we were a part of creating that natural disaster. You guys are not a part of creating this natural disaster, even though we're all creating everything collectively. You are not a part of why this natural disaster is going to happen. Okay. So you just need to understand that. Allow your emotions to come out through your work. If you do something creative, if this is art, singing, dance, whatever it is, just be your authentic self. People are going to love you. People do love you already. 8 of Wands. And remember, when these people are at the crossroads, not knowing which direction to go, they need to work on what they have going on and build what their foundation with real God, unconditional love, joy, and peace, and compassion and oneness, not whatever their version of God is. That's actually the devil in disguise. I mean, but why would these people be surprised that what they're worshiping is not God? I mean, I don't know. Why would they even be surprised that it's not? The things that it says and all that, no way. There's no way, and there's no way possible for me to, whatever this is, it's not possible for me to ever follow whatever this is. No. And that's not because I think I'm better. It's because absolutely not. And my morality and my sense of what's just and what's not, this is not in alignment. This is why these people, are the way that they are, though, because they feel entitled to the entire world, and they're not entitled to the entire world. We do not own the world. And the more that we can understand that, like, we're basically temporarily here visiting, that we're in Earth School visiting. We don't own the world. We can't just think that way. That's very destructive. Like, obviously we have to rent and lease and purchase a property, but do we really own a property if we have to pay taxes on that property every year? No, that's still paying a percentage for having a property to the government, who actually owns everything, which thinks that they own everything, but whatever. Like I said, we as humans cannot really possess the earth. We can rent it, I guess, while we're here, but we should be respectful. And these other people, they're not respectful. That's their biggest issue. 5 of Swords. They think that they're better than everybody else. They'll put themselves before everyone else. They do not respect the government. They don't respect others. If we have to put up our defenses and defend ourselves from this type of stuff, then that is what will happen. But I get that us cutting contact with them, not giving them aid when they need it, that's going to be probably us defending ourselves, literally. And sometimes it's just in who you trust, right? It's literally, everyone deserves respect and care. I agree with that. Yeah. And there's no way that we can hurt others and not hurt ourselves, right? But when we're not a part of creating something karmically, we should try to stay out of it and let the people figure it out themselves. Because I tell you what, if we were in the same position, these people would freaking celebrate. And that's the difference. Okay. They would celebrate. 4 of Cups. They also do things because they get bored, which I think boredom is so dangerous. These people have the reason that they need to stay where they're at is because where they're at, they can commit crimes whenever they want, okay, without any repercussions. Where we're at, whether you're in Canada, anywhere in North America, even freaking South America, there are repercussions for things, okay? Even though people think that money rules the world, no, these people are self-absorbed and they feel entitled, and they're going to be making a lot of payments to people because they're going to have to rent or figure out who's going to house them. Maybe they should have been more peaceful and not so violent. I would say that. 7 of Cups, but they're under an illusion, stuck in their shadow dark side, and stuck in some type of religion or cult or secret society or whatever, or coven, whatever type of weird group. And it's because of this, and because of the devil, and because of the things that these people do to children and stuff like that. It's because of all of this stuff that this is exactly to children, that this is going to happen. But, you know, you need to do everything in your power to protect the children that you have. And by us not giving real estate and a 10 of Pentacles to these people, we are protecting our children. That's the only way, really, that we can protect our children from foreign invasion and stuff like that, right? Is to literally do it by protecting our children. I also feel like these people, you know, there's a lot of other places more close to them that can like actually lend them a hand. So when they're going to be looking with their hand out, what happened to all the money that they made as an organization? And that's not just all physical money. That's stuff that's, you know, these people can get their stuff back together, but they're going to throw a big scene and all of that, and people are going to be shattered. But it's just like, you know what it's like? It's, you know how we were just in the Kali Yuga, which Kali is the goddess that removes the ego and gets rid of illusions and stuff like that. Yeah, like now we're in the new age of Aquarius. I forget what the let me just ask. What is the age that comes after the Kali Yuga?
After the Kali Yuga, the cycle restarts with the Satya Yuga, also known as the Golden Age. This age is characterized by righteousness, peace, and spiritual purity, according to Hindu cosmology.
That's the one that we're in right now, that we've just got in. These people, they sell their children. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, weird energy. Very sad shit, though. You guys are being shown as the divine being, and as nurturing as you are, you would have never ever agreed to any of whatever this is. You know, you being a mother is an important thing. Some of you are meant to be parents. These people are faced with the Seven of Swords. Many choices confront them, but only one is correct. Going within and disconnecting from this demonic entity thing. I hate to call it that, but like, that's just the vibe I get. I mean, it came through the devil card. But like, literally, they just need to disconnect from whatever it is that they do and change their ways. And repenting for what they've already done. But these people are so prideful, I don't even see that that's going to happen. And there's nothing that we need to do. Eight of Swords. These people are literally running away from being imprisoned. They're going to at least be running away from that. They've been using your inheritance. Jeez. That's horrible. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. But yeah, this is why you just have to be careful who you intermingle with in life. Okay. And when this goes down, pray for the earth, because it's actually the earth that's having a tragedy. We're so self-absorbed as a human race. We think everything is about us, and we forget that the earth is important as well. Like literally the moon. These people are being imprisoned from whatever they do up under darkness when they think that nobody is watching. Or they think that because whatever they worship and whatever they believe is watching them is something that allows bad things to happen. And I hate to say that, but it just is. Five of Wands. This is like, these people are going to have bad luck, competition, competing for a place to live. There is no competition. The things have already been divided, like the whatever, the landlines, whatever it's called, not landlines, but the countries and stuff have already been formed, divided, however you want to look at that. These people are like, you know, dangerous is what I want to say. They're just dangerous people. So I feel like the world will be able to recover from this. So it's not something that's going to be the worst thing ever. It's going to be bad for a certain group of people, but the rest of everybody else is going to be just fine. The world is actually going to get better with whatever this and this is why I say, like, there's a bigger picture for everything. When nature does stuff, you know, when nature does things, we need to ask, why did that happen? And then if we're trying to blame it on a certain thing, we just need to understand that it happened because it was meant to happen. A higher power decided for it to occur, or there was something that was being done that caused it to happen. Okay, but we don't need to point the finger at anybody. Two of Cups. We have a soul contract with the universe. Okay, a divine union. Okay, what else do we need to know before we go? Be aware of what you consume when it comes to what you think is the truth. That's what I would say to these people as well. Three of Cups. You're going to be, when this occurs, you're going to be over here celebrating, like being popular, being invited to events, going out, doing something fun, and, you know, enjoying your harvest, enjoying the actual fruits of your labor, getting to cheers with other people. Like, you're going to be in a happy space. Or if you're not already, you're headed there. These people, this is what's going to be their fate, is being up under judgment. And again, that's not a person blowing that trumpet. That's an angel. What can we do? We can't control what the angels do, and we can't control God either. So we just need to sit back, relax, and allow things to unfold naturally. Anything else, these people are going to have to walk away from whatever it is that they've been doing. And I think that that's a good thing. It would be better for their mental and emotional health. King of Swords, there may be somebody that comes forward to be like, nah, this is not going down. You know, there will be somebody that comes and brings the hammer down, but we want to do everything in our power to avoid any type of like genocide or any other type of thing. We just want to do everything in our power to avoid that. So this King of Swords person, you know, they're going to be connected to both parties, and they're going to make some type of decision. And I hope that these people heal, is all I can say. And it's unfortunate when things happen that occur, but like, it is what it is. We just need to take responsibility as a human race for what's happening when things occur. And then the people that are, I think, you know, the people that are closest to the tragedy or that are involved in it, those should be the ones that clean it up. Why do we have to go everywhere and clean up everybody else's mess? I think it's time for us to focus on ourselves and focus on what we're creating and focus on our real connection to God by going within and creating something that's going to inspire, help, and heal others, rather than destroying things, which is what these people do. And so I feel like there's basically, when this goes down, you'll be very much so already in your destiny and getting your wishes fulfilled. You could be a catalyst to world peace. Just think about that. It just depends on what direction you decide to go, you know, and it's okay to be compassionate towards people, but it's a whole nother thing to jump into their world and try to get involved with what they're, and I just don't see it working out well for any of us in this part of the world to jump into something else like that, like over this situation, because this situation as it is being handled by the divine. You know what I mean? We don't have to always be the good guy. Like, you know, and I hate to say that, but like, really, actually, I don't hate to say that. Just sometimes being the good guy, being the one that comes in and saves everybody, sometimes that can get you messed up. And it, you know, you end up learning that that is not the way to live. So be very confident in your guys' ability to create. Okay, look, the devil, this is why we don't want to be involved. That's why. That's basically why. It is what it is. But yeah, we're going to go to a new world. And this new world is going to exist of people who are kind and loving and peaceful and who want the best for others and that are in alignment with higher self, God, source, hopefully awakened in some type of way. All right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Please like this video, tap the notification bell, make sure you are subscribed. All of those things are so important to keep this channel going. Also, if you're interested in the truth of God, remember when I'm asking yes and no questions, I'm using the techniques from this book. A lot of people ask me, how do I do what I'm doing? Well, I use my abilities and then the techniques from this book, and I'm able to deal with anything that comes up. Okay, so if you're interested in this, the link to it is in the description box below. I would go back to the beginning of this reading where I go into depth and I talk about all the techniques in it. And those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is in the description box below, along with the original Rider-Waite Tarot. So if you learn the original Rider-Waite, which has the descriptions on the cards, you can go to any specialty deck. And when they give you abstract pictures, then you will realize that you'll know what the card meaning is when they give you the abstract picture. Okay, so both of these books, if you're interested in them at all, go back to the beginning of this reading. I read from them and I go into depth on how it works. But yeah, this is me throwing you guys a bone. I created this book because I did not have anybody to teach me how to read cards for myself or for others. Okay, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And then I've been using the techniques and the truth of God for about 10 years now. So with success, by the way, I use the techniques every single day. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Peace be with you. God bless wherever you're at in the world. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. God loves you. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. Hype this video if you see that. Leave a comment, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next one. No, this is a tapestry. These are not real feathers. I wish, that I had feathers like that. All right, you guys. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next reading.